That's what she looks like. Right there. In case you were wondering. Get a good picture of that. Alright, today we're working on a 2001 Toyota Sequoia. It just completely stopped on us one day. Tried to start the car in the parking lot and it sputtered and died. So we tested this out a little bit, so we're going to go through a little bit of troubleshooting here and see if we can figure out what's going on. So the first thing is we went through the relay. I can't switch cameras. Doing is checking here to see if we've got power. I'm going to check the relay right here. You can see right there, you should be able to see. Focus the fuel pump right there towards the bottom right. And that is this guy right here. So first thing we want to do is check to make sure that this relay was good. Our suspicion is fuel filter or the fuel pump. So we're testing this right here. I've got a battery charger up here and I'm using that as my power source and a little ohm meter right here. So we're going to test this relay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rig up some wires here in a second here and you'll see how we'll get it tested. Okay, so you can see what I did here. I just took two cables that I had, spare ones, and I wired them here to, you can see right there, the ones that are not copper, I just wired those up, and I'm going to run power through this from my charger. And as I get power, I'm going to see if these two, this terminal and this terminal, get continuity. So I'm going to set my voltmeter on here to continuity right there. It'll give me a little beep. You should hear a click if this is working correctly as well. Let's see here if I can do this with one hand. Not sure I can very easily. Okay, let's see if we can show this here. Set the camera down. Get this in view. There. This place. I have this, you can see here, hooked up. A cable right here. Going to this. Precariously held right there. And I'm gonna, whoops, hook this up on this side. To this blue cable. On the other side, you should hear a click as soon as that touches. Yep. So the question is it getting continuity when we do that? So I'm going to hook up one side there. Other side here, and I got a beep. And when I disconnect this on this side, here it does, and no beep. So I'll connect it back up. And I have a beep. I think it also works on this one. There's a high and low. Let's see if that's true. Nothing on that one, but I'm not sure if that's supposed to be or not. Okay, that's good. The other thing I did to test here was I ran power directly into the slot here on either one of these. See here, if I point, I ran power just that using a wire straight to this here. Let me switch cameras. I ran power straight to here to get it to go, and the power would go from here, but when I put a power signal straight to this terminal right there, the pump never turned on. When I put it to here as well, the pump never turned on. Tried it on the center one as well, pump never turned on. So my suspicion is that the pump is bad. So we're going to take it out and I'll come back. Alright, the next thing that I did, I've already taken out the gas tank here, but the next thing I did is I took out this connector here, the intake inlet into the filter, and I turned on the ignition key to see if any gas would shoot out. And of course no gas shot out because the pump never turned on when I turned on and tried to start the car. So I'm going to replace the fuel filter anyway, but if there's no gas coming to the fuel filter, then I can be certain that there's something wrong with either the power to the actual connector or the actual fuel pump, which is the likely case. Alright, we removed the gas tank in our Sequoia. Wasn't so bad. There's a couple hoses in the back. I'll show you at the gas tank, and then just these two hoses here. This one, which I already showed you a second ago, and this one right here. Just had to disconnect those. I just used my creeper and floor jack to bring down the gas tank. It happened to be 3/4 full, which was extra pleasant to have to replace. So plan on your fuel pump breaking when your fuel tank is full. So here's the connector. Came out pretty easily once I just pressed down on this with pliers. There was plenty of room once I brought it down here to bring it down, and I could get right in, no difficulties. I saw someone actually disconnected the drivetrain there. I didn't need to do it. So then I found this out here. I measured it. The left side here, pin out right there, is positive. The right side is negative. I put it on our voltmeter, and when I ran, turned on the ignition, I got power going straight to those terminals. So I know I've got power all the way to the fuel pump. The next thing I've done is I've connected some spare wire that I had directly to those, the left side being positive, right into this itself here. I want to test this and make sure that this is working and see what it was doing. Now I've actually already done this, and here's what's interesting, is it happens to be working all of a sudden. So I don't know if just banging it or jostling it, or I may have, the first time I did this, connected the negative and the plus. So probably changing the polarity on the power may have just jarred and made the pump work again. So now I'm at a point where I have to decide if I'm gonna replace it, since I took the time to take this out. But let's go ahead and see what happens here. You can see how this works. There's where it's coming out, and I'm going to start it and see what happens. Nothing. Interesting. All right, it worked for me for a bit. Let's just try it again with direct power and see what's going on. I've taken those where it's hooked up to there precariously, and hooked up to my battery charger here. Just set to 10 amps, so it's giving good 12 volts in here, and I've got the plus right there and the negative here. As soon as I touch this, watch what happens. It's working, and I can hear it pumping. Might be able to hear it. Oh, interesting. Huh. It's not working all of a sudden. Is this intermittent? And I've got nothing right now. Could be this loose connection. Nope, nothing. It's not working. How interesting is that? Let's try to pop this back around the other side.
Look at the gas.
Nothing.
The gas is stinking here.
It is. Yeah. Alright, so you saw it working, and now all of a sudden it's not working. So let's see what's going on here. I'm just going to check and make sure we've got power. Sorry, you can't see. Can't do it with one hand.
There was stinking the gas.
So I'll put that in here.
It was stinking
And
the
I've
gas.
got 12 volts in there. Okay, so it has definitely got 12 volts there. Does it have 12 volts into here? Let's see if we can show this. One hand as well. See? And there's, well, there.
The thinking and the gas. The thinking is the gas. The thing.
Yeah, the gas is stinky.
Yeah,
Alright, I got 12 volts right on there.
Thinking.
And the pump is not working. So I've got it intermittent where it kind of works for a little bit and then it shuts off and it doesn't work. It's not working.
Think up here.
Now I believe I can also take it on one of these. Okay. So I'm going to replace that fuel pump. That's got power directly to it and it is not going. It's not going.
That is thinking the gas.
Yes, you can smell the gas, huh?
Yeah.
You like the
it's
gas
in
smell?
The car.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I just blew this off with my air compressor, but I'm gonna do it again a little bit better. I've taken out some of these screws just before I open it. So here it goes with this. Good enough for me. All right, we're just disconnecting both of these on here. Break this loose a little bit. Should come off pretty easily once
Dad,
it's
turn the heater on.
broken loose like that.
Dad, turn the heater
No,
on.
don't turn off the heater. Okay?
The what? The what?
Don't turn on the heater.
But
Okay.
stinky gas.
Okay, we're gonna pop this off. This just rotates up here. It comes up. You can see it. Feel it pop. I can get my finger in there. Quite well. There we go. So that just pops up like that. That should just come right off. I can just hold it. Alright, you can see how it comes off. I can't do it with the camera. Alright, there you go. Once you flip that, pop that around, then it just slides off. I needed two hands. I couldn't do it. Okay, pull that away. Just case.
Why change the car? It's not working.
Let's take this out. Yeah, it comes right out. And there it is. That's what she looks like. Right there. In case you're wondering. Let's get a good picture of that. Stuck some paper towel in there. I'm going to replace this. Got this import direct. I don't know how good quality it is. It's the only one I could find in town. So I'll just replace it with that. Looks the same. It comes with some extra parts, but do that. Okay, so just to be sure, I ran power and I tested on this side and on this side. I checked continuity of this cable, ran it all the way down, which was the cable that was plugged in there, running into this. And I'm already at this here, and I want to see what was going on. So the first time I ran it, it actually spurted for just a little bit. And then the second time, it had nothing. So, and I didn't know how these are supposed to work exactly, so I went back to the original one, the new one, sorry, that I bought to see how it works. And of course, when you put power to it, it runs continuously. So I thought I'd just try it here. You guys can see how I actually tested it. Just found the terminals in there, tried to get them where I could see in there. You probably can't see. See if I can get it brighter. There we go. I got it in there, and then I'm just running. So the cable, oh, that came out. I can't do it with one hand. Let's just try. Set that up here. All right, you just have to trust me that I got the connections connected. The left side is positive, the way I have it faced right now. Let's see if I can get this to connect when I touch it. No, dead, dead, dead. Nothing at all. All right, so it's clear that this pump is bad. I made sure in every way that this pump would be bad. Replace it, we'll see how it works. Okay, I've got this new one hooked up. I used the original screen. It was able to pop off. Had to be a little careful taking off the clamp on it that it came on. This one is shorter than this one, so it came with a replacement one from the hose that they had. Put that on there, and I've just wired it up. I had to splice it because it has a different connector than the connector that it came with from Toyota. And it's wired into there, and of course they give you these two things, so I connected that in. So I had to assume yellow was positive. It's on the same left side, so doing the same thing. So done the same thing. I hooked it up here, and I just wanted to make sure that it was working. And I'll give you a taste. You should hear it working as well. When I hit it. Can you hear that? Yep, we're all good. The last one would not do that. It would do it for just this brief moment, and then it would just died. So I can't get anything out of it. In fact, for the fun of it, since I'm here, let's see, this one actually shows plus and minus. Take this on this side. See if I get anything left in this. Oh, look at that. Well, it's working now, but it wasn't working. We actually ran the cable there, and it didn't work. Oh. Yeah, I think it's dying. Unless it's a bad connection. Well, it's working good now. All right, so the interesting thing is, as we test this, it actually still works. You know, pulling off of the charger over there, which is, you know, doing 13 volts, it's enough to kick it going, but sometimes it would quit working. I brought it over here and it wouldn't work. So anyway, I got it set up again, and you can just see that we can get it to work intermittently. So there, it's actually running. Let's see if I can reproduce. You can actually hear the pump. That's the pump right there. Just disconnected it. Let's just see. Yeah, so now it's working. But we just had a moment here. We were running it, and I connected it, and it wouldn't. It just was frozen. There we go. There we go. 15th try is a charm, and it will not. It won't kick. It won't go. Nothing. If I wait enough, it can probably work. So anyway, it's dead. So just so you know, it could actually work and give you a false positive that it's actually okay. But it's not. Too bad it didn't just all of a sudden start working at the grocery store where we got stuck. We would have saved the tow. Okay, now's the time to check and see if this works. Hey, there we go. That worked. Now, one thing to note, I actually tested this earlier, so I knew it would work, but initially when I plugged it in, put it back together, started it, the fuel gauge didn't work, and I realized I hadn't actually connected the fuel gauge connector. So I had to reach up in there, and I was able to actually connect it with my hands instead of having to pull it back down again. But then I was worried because the fuel light came on and it sat at empty for quite some time. It probably took, I'd say 15 minutes. No, it probably took 25 minutes for the fuel gauge to get back up to half full. And it took a long time for it to get off of the fuel light. So I was really concerned that it wasn't actually working. So just one thing to note. It'll take a while for the fuel gauge to come back up. And that's it. It works. We're all good. I've been driving around for a couple days now, and it's all great. Thanks for watching.